Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is SorcererCrow here, and today I am chilling here in the catacombs because I wanted to do kind of a quick tutorial video for those of you who are coming back to Wiz maybe after a couple of years and are trying to get caught up with all the gear and whatnot. Uh, I noticed my hatch making kiosk tutorial video got a lot of likes, got a lot of views because people seem to like that I clarified some things. So that's kind of what I hope to plan to do in this video. So back a couple years ago, KingsIsle came out with this set of dungeons, this kind of Wizard City underground area. And with it, they brought out some new level 130 gear. And this gear is still arguably the best gear in game. Now you can get some better things through packs, or like at least some comparable things like this robe I have on, the motorist overcoat from the new Marleybone Horde pack. But in terms of like free to play gear you can just obtain in game without spending crowns, the Dragoon gear is pretty much the best gear. So you can find it by coming to the catacombs, by going from the commons to Golem Court, down this little sewer drain thing, and then you have to defeat a boss, do a couple quests, and then you unlock this area. Come to Zasha here, and you can buy the recipes. And the recipes aren't like super difficult. They're these Dragoons ones. So for example, the Dragoons Balanced Helm, and you can see, it's pretty good. But the trick is, it's a crafting recipe. So in order to get it, you have to have these items, which are all transmutable, but you have to get them by farming certain bosses in the catacombs area and the Wizard City Underground. And then you also have to obtain the Vanguard's hat for the hats, the Vanguard's robes for the robes, the Vanguard's boots for the boots. And now there are a couple ways you can obtain those. You can either obtain them by farming bosses down here, or you can, again, buy them as recipes. So for example, if we wanted to do the Vanguard's balanced armor, and then I could craft that. But again, it requires a significant number of these items, and that's really just about it. It's pretty straightforward, but these items, again, I say can be obtained pretty easily by farming some of the bosses down here. One of the most common bosses that people seem to farm is this boss. I'll show you kind of where he is. He's actually at the end of the first dungeon that you do when you come to this Wizard City Underground at level 130, the Drains. And you fight this guy named King Detritus at the end, who drops, every time you do this dungeon, you're guaranteed to get at least 10 of these extract. You're guaranteed at least 10 of these extract. During double reagents, it's always 20 every time you do this dungeon. But then you can also have a chance of getting salts or crystals, and then you can also transmute the salts into crystals if you want. So again, it's really straightforward, pretty easy. One more alternative option, however, KingsIsle introduced this later on, but there is, although I have to find him again. Okay, here he is. So there is a skeleton key room. It's a boss that you can fight, and he does drop all the Dragoon's gear, but it requires a lot of time because it's rare. The drops are rare. I believe he also drops the Vanguard gear, so it's really hard to get the Dragoon gear drop, but it is possible. So there are a few ways to obtain it. Obviously, again, if you're coming back to the game for the first time in a while, this is really the gear that you want to focus on getting. At least the hat, robe, and boots. Probably the amulets and a thame and ring as well. Those are all very, very good. until, of course, you go to Caramel, and you can kind of upgrade some of the gear from there. But to get you started, I would say that the Dragoon gear is the best gear to get you started back in playing this game. It does take a little bit of time, but with some dedication, you can get it done. Again, my biggest advice would be to come here, buy the recipes, both the Vanguard and the Dragoon recipes, farm King Detritus for your extract. You can transmute, and then just craft. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward, takes a long time, takes a lot of patience, but that's pretty much the best way to do it, the most efficient way to do it. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you're not already, and hit the bell button so you don't miss any future videos. I do like to come out with new tutorials, new tips for Wizard101 on occasion, and kind of like to show people what's been going on in the game for the past few years, kind of like to do updates and whatnot. And I will see y'all in the spiral.